Yo, what is going on, guys? Episode 79 of many of the Grizzly Life Podcast. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it this far. I've got another special guest today. We are recording Wednesday the 26th, so the day before Thanksgiving. You guys will obviously be listening to this one on Thanksgiving. And this is a special episode. It is another one of our mini-series. I don't know, I'm calling it our mini-series episodes. So I don't know how many we've done together now. Probably this is number
4.
Number 4?
Yeah.
So we've got Holden here, our most popular guest now. I think he's been on more than everybody besides probably like Chase or something. So anyways, Holden's here the day before Thanksgiving. We're going to have a good conversation today. We're going to go over the goals that we set last time we talked. We're going to talk, did we hit those goals? Did we not hit those goals? We're going to talk about the new goals, which Holden and I have not talked about what our new goals even are. So today we're just going to be kind of setting them and talking about them together. Maybe see if Holden's been going through anything that he's learned over the last month. So anyways, without further ado, Holden, thanks for coming on.
Appreciate you having me, man. Thank you.
Yeah, so let's recap first. What goals did we set out to accomplish by this time?
It was 5 books. I think we said under 365.
365?
I think that's what we pushed for, yeah. And then I wanted to walk 1.5 miles every day, like that I was at the gym.
Yeah.
So
let me turn that off. Okay, so let's talk right away. What books? Let's just dive into the books. What books did we read, and did we hit that goal?
Yeah, we definitely hit the goal. It was a really challenging one, but I think for me, I do read a lot of. I shouldn't say I do read a lot. I have started to read a lot more of like mental health and like just kind of, like every day, like how to like better yourself, care yourself, kind of books. For me, like, I think I just wanted to read something new. So like I started to really pick up on like Stephen King and, I'm a big movie watcher, like, shows, like I really like that kind of stuff. So I kind of just wanted to do something new and, read books that really kind of just draw me into, either like mystery, action, something like that. So, lots of Stephen King. I still did a few of like the, mental health like books and stuff like that. But for me, like, I was reading Mr. Mercedes. We were talking about that earlier. Like, those kind of books, like, stuff like that, like the psychological and like, thriller, those kind of things really keep me on my toes of like, it makes me almost, kind of want to read more. I'm pretty sure all the book readers out there and stuff like that can agree. Like when you really get to like the climax and like the real juicy like parts of like the story, it's almost like, you're watching a show on Netflix, like, oh, well, there's only 2 episodes left. I can't stop now. So
yeah. Yeah, that's I haven't really gotten into the reading, like the actual stories. I do really get engaged when I like am reading about an individual like David Goggins, for example, which does not compare to Stephen King and the stories that he's telling. But when I'm actually reading along with like a journey of like their life, like the self-help books and like the business books, like I can understand the difference there. I just haven't gotten down the path of like actually reading for like more of like the pleasure aspect,
Sure.
Because they do say like, reading those kinds of books is similar to watching a movie. Like our brain is still being that level of engaged. And anyways, I've found it nice. I just finished a David Goggins book. And
Which one was it?
Never Finished.
Yeah, great one.
And so like just like hearing his stories like when he's running, you read this book as well.
Yeah.
So like hearing his stories when he's like running and he's on mile 100 and this and that and his wife and like just like it was cool and like that's really engaging. So I assume it's similar to, I can't compare it to Stephen King as well, but
for sure.
So anyways, so who would have ever thought that Holden Smith was reading 5 books in a month's time?
Yeah, not Holden Smith, that's for sure.
Right. I know the Holden that I grew up with, I would have never guessed that he picked up a book at all.
I don't think a lot of other people really would too. Like, like I said, outside of like The Outsiders and like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, like, nah, man, I never really put in like perspective, like of how much like I really just want to push myself or even just kind of, gain some more vocabulary knowledge, things like that. So
how do you feel about, reading these books and like, just how has this impacted your life the last 90, 120 days or so?
I think it's done a really good job. Like I think more before I speak and I use some more vocabulary that I've picked up and, saying big words and stuff is always kind of fancy, things like that. And just kind of, being able to just really get a mindset of different vocabulary for words and like, what other things mean and, stuff like that. And really being able to just kind of paint the picture in your head of like how things play out. I kind of look at it as like, maybe in life, like if you overthink some things, you can look at like a better outcome for certain things. So,
yeah. So okay, so we got 5 books completed the last, basically 30 days, I would assume. I don't know what day our last episode was, but it was like right in like, it was like 30 days.
Yeah.
So we got the books done. And did you have to 5 books is a lot more than like our past goals. Did you have to change a lot? Did you have to like devote a lot more time to reading? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Like anytime I had some downtime, like I would definitely like read on my lunch break. I was always reading. Like right when I got home, like I would set up like at least 45 minutes to an hour a day, like of just reading. And then anytime like at a weekend or on a car ride, whatever, like I was always making sure like, okay, I have a minute to read. So I'm going to make it a priority.
Fair enough. What, do we want to set another book goal for like the next 30? By the end of the year, really? Because it's end of November now. So
sure, yeah.
Is there any other book goals that you want to accomplish?
Yeah, I think we can bump it up to like 6 books instead of 5.
I'm going to go 6 books. So we've got like 5.5 weeks or so rest. So we're going to go 6 books total.
Yeah.
And okay, cool. So we're going to go 6 books. I just want to say I'm proud of you for doing it.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
I try to encourage as many people as possible to read and to learn more stuff and to understand more things and to really just put your phone down and like dive in. And I don't know. I just think there's so many other benefits that come from reading. So
absolutely. Yeah.
I'm glad you're going down that path and learning a little bit. So
it's going to be weird when I put on some books for my Christmas list. People are really going to ask if I'm feeling all right. So,
yeah, that's for sure. So what, we'll save the weight one for last, cause I feel like that's the most exciting and I feel like people are going to be the most proud. So one of our other goals is 1.5 miles a day when we're in the gym. And I think we were trying to like do gym 6 days a week, right?
Yeah.
So how did that go? Tell me more about that.
It was exhausting, but I got it done. It was Monday to Saturday every day. And then I made sure to always get 1.5 miles in. Like I get to the gym at 6. I can do, my weightlifting till like 6:30, 6:45. But, like I would always get on the tread no later than 6:50. I do my 1.5 miles, and then by that time it's like 7:15, 7:20. So I had a perfect amount of time to, get ready before work and stuff like that. I had to find ways to like distract my brain when I was on the tread, because some days it felt like, man, I haven't even reached 1 mile yet. Like this is ridiculous. This is crazy. But then next thing you know, like I'm watching the Animal Planet that's on the TV above, or, like the family in Alaska and how they live or whatever. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm at almost, you know what I mean? I'm almost at a mile, like, stuff like that. So it really, it's all just about like the mindset. It was exhausting, but I still set a goal of 10,000 steps or more a day. So like that was always just a big start to my day. Like I'm starting the day off with anywhere from 3,500 to 4,500 steps a day, so it was a challenging goal, but I think I'm in such a routine now, like that my style of cardio that I do is just, stuff like that. And I would always start the incline at like a 3.5, and then like I would always boost it up, and then along with the speed, like I always started at a minimum of 3 speed, and the highest speed I got to was like a 3.6. And at that point, like I'm almost at like a slow jog, so I'm definitely building up an endurance, but man, like it was exhausting. It still is, but, it's all worth it when I'm able to see a lower number on a scale. So,
yeah. Did you do any more like long walks? I know last month we were doing like those 5-mile walks and like on Sundays and stuff.
Mhm.
Did you have any like longer
Yeah.
walks this?
Yeah, I still took some walks. I mean, with it getting colder outside, like not as much as I'd like to, but on the tread, like I always did, like today even, I walked like 3.5 miles. Like, I did my regular 1.5 miles at like a higher pace, higher speed, and then I was able to finish up the rest at just like a good like walking pace of like anywhere from 2.8 to 3.3. So
Sure.
yeah, absolutely.
So what about we're going to talk about nutrition next, but let's talk about like general like workout goals. Like, do we have any workout goals that we want to accomplish next, by the end of the year as well?
I think, man, that's a good one. I definitely think I could set up some like fitness weightlifting goals in that way. I think maybe, yeah, like I would just want to, for me personally, like I just kind of want to feel good and confident at what I'm doing in the gym and making sure that it's, consistent and it's getting me like where I want to be. So I think, yeah, I think a goal that I could make is like doing weights at least 5 times a week,
Okay. Because you're not consistently doing 5 days a week right now?
I'd say anywhere from like, 3 to 4 days a week I'm doing weights. Sure. So I think I kind of want to make it like a Monday through Friday kind of thing and set like a routine of like, Tuesday's leg day, Wednesday's chest, and Thursday's biceps, something
Sure.
like that. So
Yeah, okay. So we're going to do 5 days a week of lifting. So right now you're coming in 6 days a week, but some days you're coming in just doing cardio then? Is that what's happening?
correct, yeah.
So on those days you come in a little bit later just to get your walk in then?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to try to set more of a routine where Monday through Friday you're going to be here at the same time, same place, and we're going to get a little lift in 30, 40 minutes, and then we're going to hit the treadmill, still being consistent in that realm, I assume. Still going to shoot for probably 1.5 miles or whatever.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. So consistency, introducing a little bit more consistent like weightlifting routine. So what about nutrition? What has nutrition been like the last 30 days? Is there anything that you've like tried or like taken away or like just anything nutrition wise? Like how's that going? Tell us more.
I'm still using a ton of recipes that Brandon had sent me, so big shout out to him for that. But I did try like fasting, and it was challenging at first, but my last meal was at like 4 the day prior, and then I woke up, didn't feel as hungry, and then after the gym, I would say probably like after I got a good workout in and got some like a good like 1.5 miles in is like when I kind of started to feel a little hungry, but I was able to like just stay busy and occupy my brain of like just other things of like other points of focus, to really just kind of elaborate on what like the ultimate goal like really is. And like we were discussing earlier, I think like the last couple hours is like the hardest part. People were talking to me at work and I was just pulling a blank on just like the easiest questions. Like, I was just really trying to think like, so it was a little tough, but I definitely think it's something I kind of want to dive into a little bit more because like I just kind of felt good, like after I had accomplished it, and I still feel like I just had a ton of energy after. So it was good. I think you just have to go about it the right way.
So do you have is there any other food? Like, so you've been doing a lot of like the recipes with Brandon, what is your nutrition like? Like high protein, high fats, low carbs, or like just
absolutely.
all natural foods, or what are we doing?
Yeah, it's still definitely just like high protein, like low carbs. Like I really like it's tough because especially with the holidays, coming around, like dude, dinner rolls are just like to die for, they're super good. Yeah. Like if you ever been to Texas Roadhouse, like how do you not have those? Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's so high in, like carbs and like stuff like that. So, yeah, like I just try and stay away from things like that in that aspect. But other than that, like I've been very, very like strict and consistent with just like high intake of like protein, like your basic meat, eggs, that kind of stuff. But I did kind of start to do like some more like meal planning and like meal prepping, which is just a lot easier. Like you can just take things out of the freezer, put it in the microwave, and then you're good to go, stuff like that, or even just in the fridge as well. So
yeah, cool. So for the next month or so, do you intend on doing more fasting? Like, for those of you listening, I'm not over here encouraging Holden to fast. He's been listening to me, and so he took it upon himself. I just learned today that he did his first 24-hour fast. So For the next 30 days, do you have any goals around fasting? You want to do another 24-hour fast? Or
Yeah, I definitely want to try like another 24-hour fast. Like, I think maybe I should at least do like 2 this month.
Okay.
Or not this month, but within like those, 30 days or whenever the next pod is.
Yeah.
So I'd say at least fast twice.
Okay. So we are going to do in just like the 24-hour mark. You want to go for 36 or what's your plan?
Yeah, I think, could we do one of each?
Yeah.
Like, I think we could do that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just curious what other people feel at that 36. Like I said, I know it's a magical number.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's like it's a mental thing.
Definitely.
I don't recommend doing a fast like that if you have like a high output day, like unless you've done it a couple times. Like I was just telling you before we hopped on, I did a longer fast, like a 28-hour fast or something. And that entire day I was doing a gym install and I felt good. I just, it's important to keep your water and sodium intake and your electrolytes. But so, if you're going to do a fast like that, like I told you, maybe do like a 5 p.m. dinner and then make it to the next day and make sure you have a busy day, but also like not like a high output. Like I don't want you having to do a gym install all day the next day, but
right.
I don't know, maybe just something to try, maybe so 36 hours is more of a mental fast. It's still hard, but your body's going to be okay, but you have to push through it. I know I had another gal, I know Patty tried her first 24-hour fast. She started getting headaches towards the end of the 24-hour fast, which obviously if that happens, obviously stop the fast, eat some food. But I recommend getting into it slowly. Like if you're going to start fasting this week, let's do 1 meal a day and try to hit that like 20 to 24-hour window. So if you're gonna, you know what I mean? So, but yeah. All right. So we're going to set a goal next 30 days. We're going to do a 36-hour, see how it goes. And yeah, take notes of that. I'm curious how your mental state is. That last couple hours is always tough, but
absolutely.
Ideally your last meal's at like 5 and then you do a 24-hour and then you wake up the next morning and it's basically like hour 36 and you can eat a big breakfast, So anyways, okay, so we're going to fast. We're going to introduce a little bit more strength training. We're going to do our 6 books. Let's dive into our weight.
Yeah.
Our weight is the most, everybody's excited about the weight, and I'm sure that's the main reason you're doing this. So
yeah, absolutely.
What was our goal? 365 is what we said?
365, yeah. I weighed in this morning when I left, I was 361.
361.
So, yeah.
Like today?
Yes, sir.
The day of the pod.
Yep.
So congrats for one.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks.
I mean, we started at 482.
Yeah.
And could you have imagined 4 months ago or whatever it was that you'd be down 120 pounds?
Nah, man. It's really crazy to think because, we obviously set the bar to a point, but I think it just ultimately came down to how much work I was willing to put in. And, like you said, like the ball was in my court, right? Like I always ask well, how fast, could I lose this weight or blah, blah, blah. Like it was just all about how much work I was willing to do and how consistent and strict, like I was willing to push myself.
Yeah.
So, I think, the number on the scale is just going down because I'm putting in the work. I'm being consistent. I'm going to the gym 6 out of 7 days a week and 1.5 miles every day. And, some days more and more than 10,000 steps a day. And it's paying off. I just got to keep trucking along and I got to keep pushing myself and find new things to, like fasting or, stuff like that. Like find new ways to, either lose more weight or just like kind of like try something different, out of my comfort zone and see if I like it and, go from there.
I'm just curious, are you still doing anything like chewing more gum or doing like things like that to like keep your...
To be honest, like, no, not really. Like, I don't really think about like sugar or like sometimes, I'll crave like a soda, or stuff like that. But, I don't really like crave sugar as, like candy or, stuff like that as much as I used to. Like it obviously, still looks delicious and stuff like that, but like I just kind of know like it's opening a whole can of worms. Like if I were to just kind of go a little overboard, with myself and stuff like that, I think just I've worked really hard on self-control and stuff like that. And I kind of just don't want to, mess it up.
Yeah. So. No, for sure. Tell me about, now that you're 361, what other things have like happened? Like, I know your car, you can get closer to the, wheel and stuff like that. Like, I know the pictures that we've looked at here before and after, you're standing taller. I know just the other day when you sent me the before and after, I'm like, look how much easier it is for you to take the photo of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like
Right.
you don't have to get all the way around your, like, you know, so what other things are you experiencing being a smaller man?
Definitely just like going out like through my closet, like, you know, cleaning out like my closet and stuff like that, and being able to try on like clothes that, you know, I kept like when I was procrastinating, like, yeah, you know, one day I'll lose weight, or yeah, you know, one day like I really like that shirt, but you know, it's a 3X and I can't fit into it, but one day I will, you know, stuff like that. And not saying that procrastinating is something you should do. Definitely don't do it, but I was lucky enough, I guess, to still have some like those clothes and things like that. So, like throwing on like a sweatshirt or just any other shirt like that I haven't worn in years, you know, stuff like that. It's a really good feeling. Like it's something I really think about because, you know, to me, like in my brain, like I'm still like at large, you know, but other people obviously see a different perspective of me. So I think, you know, when I'm able to try on like my new apparel and stuff like that, I just kind of sit back and think like, oh, damn, you know, maybe I really am, you know, like starting to look better, and maybe I really should kind of listen to like the people like that are saying like, you know, I look good and that I've lost a lot of weight and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think just that's another thing. And like I got to get my glasses tightened, you know, because I keep falling down on my face, you know, stuff like that, because I've lost so much weight. You know, the watch that I ended up getting, like that I bought from you, like it's loose on me already, you know, like, and I was actually really kind of taken back by that. Like I was surprised. So just things like that, you know, I'm really just kind of like appreciative, like towards myself, like, you know, that I can give myself like that pat on the back, and like, you know, I really have been busting ass and I really have been like working hard, you know, like I think even for me, like walking is different. You know, like when I used to walk, like my back would just kill me, right? Like it's a big reason like why I never wanted to walk, you know, because I was so overweight, and like just all that pressure on my back, and just things like that. And you know, now I walk 3.5, you know, miles like no problem, right? And like no back pain, you know, stuff like that. So like I definitely think I'm not as like in as much like, you know, pain, and like I'm more outgoing and I'm more willing to just, you know, push myself to, you know, be the best version of myself.
That's awesome. I'm curious, what have you done with your clothes that's too big now?
I have like, I still have them, but I definitely think it's tough because some of those shirts I have are really cool and I'm just kind of weird like that. But I think ultimately I'm just going to have to like get rid of them because I don't want to leave that door open of like, oh, well, you know, if I put on X amount of weight again, like I have clothes, you know, so I kind of want to just leave it as to like a wake up call, right? Like in case if I ever do slip, like, oh, hey, like this 3X shirt's really starting to scream on me again, you know, like maybe wake up and do something about it. So,
yeah, I think there's like a remembering, you know, like keeping a couple of your favorite shirts or whatever, pants, so like, you know, you can have that as a memory in a sense, show you how far you've come. Maybe show your kids someday, show other fans, you know what I mean? Like, dude, look how big I was, you know, you're down to 250 and all of a sudden. So, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, like I just didn't know, you know, you could Goodwill, you could burn, you know, whatever you wanted to, I mean, I don't know, whatever you wanted to do just to kind of like, that's the old Holden, right? Like that's no longer who I am.
For sure.
Maybe taking a bunch of pictures of you as you lose weight in those big ass shirts that you loved and have that as your memory, and get rid of the shirt itself. Or I don't know.
Yeah.
But I was just curious.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because my fiance and I, like, we went to go see Luke Combs. I think it was April of 24, I want to say. Regardless, I bought a shirt from there, and the biggest size they had, I think it was a 3 or 4X. I don't know, but the shirt looked like a crop top on me.
Yeah.
Like essentially, like, you know, like my belly button was hanging out of it. You know what I mean? And now, like, we're gonna go see him again, like coming in 26th of May, right? But I tried it on, and like I always show her, like, hey, look, like I can actually wear this thing now. You know what I mean? Like, just those kind of things are really crazy to think about. Like, you know, when I really look in a mirror and I'm like, man, like my stomach used to like hang out of this shirt, and now like it doesn't. Like just those things, like can really have a big positive mental effect on the way like that I think, and like those days like where I'm just like, man, I don't want to go to the gym, like I don't want to do this, but when I think about those things, like they really motivate me to keep, pushing, keep going to the gym, and keep being the best version of myself.
I wonder if I'm not creative in the sense, but maybe you could do some kind of like blanket or quilt made out of your, I don't know how many favorite shirts you have. Maybe you have 50 favorite shirts, but maybe you had like 3 or 5 that you're like, dude, I couldn't get rid of these, but maybe somebody could like transform them into something cool.
Yeah.
Like a blanket or something. Or
that'd
like
actually be kind of cool. Or even like a tapestry, something like that. Like that would be awesome.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good idea.
So maybe think of something like that. But anyway, so let's talk about what's our goal weight for the end of the year or your next pod, but basically end of the year. What do we want to be at?
Well, I wanted to say 350, but I think we can be under that. So I think I'm going to go with like 340 to 345, like in that range. Like I think that's easily doable.
Okay. So we're at 361 as of today.
Yeah.
We do have Thanksgiving, which depending on how careful or not careful you are, could be a slight setback, but I think you can be strong and make it through. So yeah, I say we shoot for the stars. I say we go 340. That's 21 pounds.
Yeah.
Let's just set the bar there. I think that's a good goal. 21 more pounds, 340.
For sure.
That means from August till now, you've dropped
over 130 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then that gives us 5 months till the wedding to shoot for that 300 mark. That's another 40 pounds at that point, right? So kind of looking at it in chunks, and who knows, maybe we can blow that away. I do know at a certain point it's going to not fall off 15 pounds a week, but you're still a big guy. You still got weight to lose. So we could be surprised. You could still have some big weeks, depending on what you do. Push yourself, get maybe, that your steps from 10K a day to maybe that 12K to 15K if you really want to like push and see what happens, maybe that'd be a good experiment for you too. Like keep your diet pretty same and maybe increase from 10 to 12K for a week and see what happens fat loss wise. And then maybe try 15K the next week, really push yourself and then maybe taper back because maybe, I don't know, just something to think about.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm going to recap our goals and then I want to just have you leave us off with like something great. I want you to inspire me. I want you to inspire everybody else listening or tell us something you've learned or a big takeaway. So we're going to read 6 books by the end of the year. We're going to lift 5 days a week. We're going to have a consistent weightlifting routine, like 5 days a week. We're still going to hit the gym that 6 days a week, though. We're still going to be hitting our walks every morning.
Yep.
We're going to do a 24 and a 36-hour fast, at least one of each by the end of the year. Kind of push the mental barrier there. And then we're going to shoot for the weight goal of 340 pounds. Is there anything else that we want to accomplish, like any other one-offs? I know we've talked about a couple other things, but is there anything else that you want to set in stone for a goal for yourself?
I think I'm not sure, man. I think we're good like right now, but I think maybe once I get more confidence in like weightlifting and stuff like that, like I think then I'm gonna want to like set more like PR goals like for a squat or bench or something like that.
I know we talked a little bit about like maybe getting into like a run walk.
Yeah.
Do we want to try anything like that before the end of the year?
For sure. Yeah. I was, it's something we were definitely going to talk about. Like, when I got up to like a 3.6, like 3.7-ish, like on like the tread, like I was essentially like at like a jog, right? But I was fast walking it. Things like that, like, to reiterate like what you were talking about, like noticing differences, like, sometimes like I'll get my dogs all wound up, you know what I mean? Like just to be fun and playful or whatever. And when I see that, like, holy buckets, like, man, I was out of breath, you know what I mean? Like now, like I do it all the time, and it's like just things like that, like I've definitely built up like an endurance. And I think now is the time to like kind of start pushing myself, right? Because like how inspiring is it to be like, hey, I'm 360 pounds and I just ran a mile in, 12, 15, 20 minutes, whatever, run, walk, jog, like, I did it.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So.
Okay. So by the end of the year, we want to try to incorporate a little bit of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely want to, I think I want to like jog/run a mile without, having to like walk more than like 2 or 3 times, like just to kind of catch my breath for a minute.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So we won't set like a super definitive goal. We just want to incorporate that for like the rest of the year. Like let's do maybe once a week or something where we get a little jog walk, or maybe you end up loving it and you want to do it, a couple times a week. But
sure.
So we're gonna work on the jogging up to a mile. I mean, our real goal is to jog a mile without stopping, right? Like, so whether that happens this month, next month, or the month after that, like that's where we're working. Let's do a mile straight, no stopping, whether it takes 15 minutes or, however long, it doesn't matter as long as we stayed busy. So, okay, cool. So those are the goals that we're going to do for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
By next pod, we'll probably record another episode between Christmas and New Year's or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what is one thing that you want to leave us off with? One thing, if you want to tell your younger self something, keep believing. If you want to, something that you've had a major breakthrough or takeaway, just like leave us off with something awesome, and then we'll wrap the pod up here.
Sure. There was a quote that I really, really like, and it kind of like hits home for me. It says like, just because I didn't choose to go through it doesn't mean I can't choose to grow through it. And to me, like that is just, it just kind of really speaks volumes to me. Like everybody can have some sort of like trump card, right? Of like, oh, well, I can't go to the gym because of this, or, I don't believe in myself because of this, right? Like, no, like that's all BS. You know what I mean? Like, granted, like what you went through and like everything that you like is going on, essentially, yeah, it's terrible and it's tragic, right? But like, if you truly want to better yourself, like you need to grow through everything that like you're going through, like, if you take 5 steps backwards, like you got to make sure you take 6 steps forward, so just always be confident in yourself and, just enjoy every moment you can and grow, like learn and grow from every moment that you're in, whether it's terrible, whether it's good, right? Like if it's terrible, well, now, for next time, like what can I do different, right? Or like, how can I improve myself to be better? So, yeah, like I said, that quote to me, just because I didn't choose to go through it doesn't mean I can't choose to grow through it. I definitely think it's a good quote, something that I definitely try and tell myself every day. And, I want to grow into the best, version of myself I can be. So I'm going to keep doing that, man.
I love it. Very good.
Yeah. And I also want to give a shout out to my best friend, who I also consider like my brother, William Eichstead, also known as Bill Belsky, from what I call him. He's due here to be a father here pretty soon. And I just want to tell him that everything's going to be good. You're going to be a great dad and keep working hard, man. Got big love for you.
Love it. I love it. Well, we're going to wrap up there. Are there any socials that you want anybody to check you out on?
Still on Snapchat, Holden_OFWG, and Instagram is Holden_1019. And yeah, if there's anybody who wants to start somewhere in the gym or is afraid of, judgment or whatever, like get that shit out of your head. And I'm approachable, like if you want to start somewhere, like if you're too intimidated to, talk to Colton or anybody else here at this gym, like just let me know. Like I'll get you started. Like I can help you in any kind of way. So as long as you're willing to put the work in, I'm willing to work with you. So
I love it. Well, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you for joining us today. Episode 79. Episode 79 is complete. So we will see you guys on the next one, and then we will see you at the end of the month, and you're going to destroy all your goals.
Yeah, man. I'm excited.
Appreciate it. Have a good one, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy Turkey Day. Gobble, gobble.